If you have to insist that your coworkers don't hate you, then there might be a chance that they do indeed hate you. The hate for SImu Liu transcends just people who've worked with them, sending shockwaves through social media, as well as other celebrities, even causing beef with brands. SImu has come under fire for some harrowing allegations. In 2021, around the same time that Marvel released Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, old Reddit posts by the actor began to resurface, proving that he frequented men's rights activist circles and often regurgitated homophobic pseudoscience conspiracy theories likening homosexual identity with the mistreatment of minors. This has given people rightfully the reason to dislike the guy, but there's some other reasons on this list as to why people aren't so fond of SImu that might surprise you. Today we're going to be counting down the top 10 celebrities that hate SImu Liu. Coming in at number 10 is Quentin Tarantino. The Pulp Fiction director just simply does not care about Marvel movies. During his appearance on the podcast Two Bears, One Cave, Tarantino reflected on the state of the film industry, saying that one of the outcomes of what he calls the Marvelization of Hollywood movies is a scarcity of movie stars. Quentin said, "You have all these actors who've become famous playing these characters, but they're not movie stars." He said, "Captain America is the star, Thor is the star. I mean, I'm not the first person to say that. I think that's been said a zillion times. It's these franchise characters that become the star." Though Tarantino said he doesn't love Marvel movies, he also doesn't hate them, describing his respect for them, quote, "My only axe to grind against them is that they're the only things that seem to be made, and they're the only things that seem to generate any kind of excitement." He continued saying, "They're the entire representation of this era of movies right now, and there's not really much room for anything else." Liu decided to respond to Tarantino, but I'll wait to explain that alongside our number 9 spot. Coming in at number 9 is another Golden Age director with Martin Scorsese. The acclaimed auteur wrote an essay for the New York Times in 2019, explaining his opinions on Marvel movies. He said, quote, "Honestly, the closest I can think of them as well made as they are, with actors doing the best they can under the circumstances, is theme parks." He adds, "It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences to another human being." Scorsese also famously told Empire magazine in 2019 that he didn't enjoy superhero films or even consider them to be cinema. SImu Liu decided to respond to Tarantino and Martin Scorsese in an interview with Britain's Empire magazine in 2019 following the Scorsese essay, saying, quote, "I am in awe of their filmmaking genius. They are transcendent auteurs, but no movie studio is ever or will ever be perfect. But I'm proud to work with one that has made sustained efforts to improve diversity on screen by creating heroes that empower and inspire people of all communities everywhere. I love the Golden Age too, but it was way too white." Coming in at number 8 is Ryan Gosling. Liu made an appearance with his co-star Gosling in a promotional event for the Barbie movie in Toronto last month. A short video went viral that captured Liu and his Ken counterpart Ryan Gosling in the throes of an uncomfortable photo op. Liu tried to cozy up with his co-star, wrapping an arm around Gosling's waist, but the fellow Canadian appears to not care for that one bit. Though inaudible, Gosling seems to tell Liu to not touch him like that, to which Liu responds while pulling away, "You don't what? Oh, it's too tender? Fair enough." Twitter users have attempted to explain this away, saying that Gosling was not trying to be mean, but instead simply has pictures of him taken for a living and knows how to capture his angles. Clips of the tense moment were immediately circulated widely on social media, with some fans wondering whether there was some simmering anger between the two co-stars. Gosling has yet to publicly comment on the viral video, but Liu has risen to the occasion and decided to tell all with his address of the moment on Instagram last Thursday. In a story post, the actor says, quote, "I'd beach off with this Canadian again in a heartbeat. He is the best human in every way, especially when he jokes around with us on the carpet and on set, affecting us all with his Kenergy." The post also featured a photo of him and Gosling, and he ended the post by saying, "Now let's get back to the issues that matter, like supporting our striking actors and writers fighting for fair wages." At number 7 is Margot Robbie. While Ryan Gosling may have kept his comments to himself, Margot Robbie, in perfect Barbie fashion, threw an insult at SImu so brilliantly that it came across as a compliment. In another press junket shared to TikTok by Vanity Fair, Robbie compared Liu to his on-screen variation of Ken. A Vanity Fair interviewer asked the actress who was closest to their on-screen Barbie or Ken character in real life. Robbie answering, quote, "Maybe SImu? He's such a Ken in real life," adding, "I love him." However, a shortened clip of the interview was spread across social media, and by way of the omission of Robbie's praise for Liu, people immediately assumed her comparison was a negative one. But even with the addition of Robbie's love for him, her comparison to the actor's on-screen depiction of Ken is still not being viewed as favorable by fans. Many have pointed out how this seems like a calculated dig about Liu, as Margot named the only Ken in the Barbie movie with overwhelmingly negative character traits. So I think it's fair to say that at least subconsciously, people may not be taking a liking to SImu. At number 6 is Franchesca Ramsey. The TV writer and actress for Superstore and the iCarly reboot spoke out about SImu's reaction to a TikTok video about him that's been making rounds on social media recently. Last month, a TikTok user, Paris by Nightcore, shared her thoughts about how SImu is now the face of Asian diaspora. She went on to say, quote, "Notwithstanding his homophobic incel-adjacent past, he literally thinks his presence in Hollywood is the end-all be-all of Asian representation." A separate user then reshared the video on their Instagram, taking Liu's account. The Instagram user in question is now private and has just 258 followers on the app. Liu, however, apparently saw the video in his mentions Simmons reshared it on his Instagram story, writing an expletive-filled rebuttal alongside it with the following point, explaining that he does not think he is the face of Asian diaspora and does not understand the accusation about him being homophobic or incel. How ironic. Although Simu has the right to feel annoyed about being tagged in strangers' hate posts, considering the size of his platform, Twitter users have called him out for publicly shaming the two women involved, deeming him irresponsible for doing so. This is where Franchesca Ramsey stepped in with a tweet that said, "This is what I mean when celebs need a group chat. Simu has every right to feel any way about her post, but sharing it to his 3 million followers is inviting a pile-on and he knows that. He should have vented to his friends offline and left it at that." At our halfway point is the Huffington Post. The publication put out an article last month entitled, "We love SImu Liu, but he's not the only talented Asian thirst trap in Hollywood." The article went on to explain how much of Asian Twitter, quote, collectively scratched its head when they heard Liu was playing one of the many Kens featured in Barbie. The writer went on to say, "Don't get us wrong, we love Liu and we're all for an Asian king thriving, but when a single actor appears to be getting the bulk of Asian male roles in Hollywood, it starts to feel a little less like representation and more like tokenism." Adding, "All we're saying is we don't want a predominantly white Hollywood to gatekeep sexy Asian male representation like it has for decades when there are so many other attractive and talented Asian men who deserve to be seen and appreciated by the general public." In response, Liu went to Facebook to call the HuffPost article, quote, "the trashest take," further adding, "I'm not a thirst trap, I'm an actor." He went on to say, quote, "Way to attempt to pit us against one another. What bulk of roles are you referring to? Are there movies I'm in that I'm not aware of? Do you really think there's a quota of Asian male roles that is a zero-sum game?" Fans in the comments said that the article should have tackled the real issue at hand, which is the lack of roles and stories in television and film for Asian people. At number 4 is Toshiba. Before he was starring in Marvel movies or Barbie, SImu Liu was a model for stock photography. Hey, it's a job. In March, the actor tweeted about Toshiba using one of his old stock photos, writing, quote, "Toshiba, whatever you paid for this photo, I guarantee you I would have endorsed you for less. Now we're enemies." The offending photo in question shows Liu happily pointing at something in what appears to be a business setting. People responded to this tweet by showing off some of the other unexpected places they spotted Liu's old stock photos. On my EAP website, tweeted one person with a photo of SImu once again in some kind of business meeting from what appears to be the same shoot. I guess SImu would rather be known for his more famous or well-paying work, so it's awkward that Toshiba would continue to use his stock photos. At number 3 is Mark Wahlberg. The secondary Ken and Ted star have a strange relationship. It's not necessarily based in hatred, but it's odd nonetheless. In 1988, Wahlberg was convicted of assaulting 2 Vietnamese men, and in 2014, Wahlberg attempted to get his past hate crimes pardoned. This prompted Liu to tweet, "Let me get this straight. Mark Wahlberg assaulted a Vietnamese man until he was unconscious when he was 16 and is attempting to get the courts to grant him an official pardon on the basis that he's turned his life around." But in 2020, when Liu went on to star with Mark Wahlberg in Arthur the King, he decided to delete the past tweets that criticized his co-star. This led to Liu receiving some backlash on social media when he went on to defend his decision to delete said tweets. SImu said, "I deleted a couple of tweets I made regarding the past actions of one of my co-stars as a gesture of professionalism and to open the door to progressive conversations and positive change. I meant when I said in the moment I was very angry hearing about what happened, but that doesn't mean I don't think there's room to grow and work together to find an opportunity to educate and do some good. Progressive discussion will lead to dialogue." Fans felt as though he was selling himself out, having his name associated with Wahlberg and taking back the severity of his opinions after coming out so hard against his plea to be pardoned for his crimes. Our runner-up on this list is Constance Wu. The fresh off the boat star wasn't happy with a joke made by Liu during the Character Media's annual Unforgettable Gala, even after she was assured such thing wouldn't happen. In 2019, Wu wrote a series of controversial tweets where she opened up about her dismay that Fresh Off the Boat had been renewed, saying that it was no longer satisfying work for her and alluded to the fact that it may be the reason for her subsequent attempt of taking her own life. Wu was invited to the gala to celebrate the renewal of the show, deciding to attend under the impression that no one would mention or mock her tweets, only to be sat in the front row and within 10 minutes have the host, SImu, crack a joke at her about the very topic. Wu said she felt ostracized and betrayed by the Asian American community because of the situation, feeling as though they were setting her up for the worst. The joke has never been made public, but Wu has revealed that Liu apologized to her privately, but Liu has never made any comment about his behavior. Our number 1 spot is the NBA. Now, not outright hatred, but a pretty messed up thing happened regarding Liu at the 2023 NBA All-Star Celebrity Game in Salt Lake City, during a video segment that aired during the event. An in-arena camera that displayed his photo alongside an Asian attendee during a celebrity lookalike segment. The men have no similarities to each other besides the fact that they were just Asian. SImu quickly responded to the segment in a tweet that read, "This is not cool because it supports the all Asians look-alike stereotype." However, several people commented on Liu's tweet, suggesting that the comparison was probably an ego boost for the fan. Liu later returned to Twitter to clarify his message, saying, "This was just one person with a camera and there's no disrespect to my man in the Videotron either. He's gorgeous, we just don't look alike." And that is our top 10 list of celebrities that hate SImu Liu. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one.